Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay and I've got the headphones on because we've had a live stream from Fantasy Flight Games today and they have confirmed the leaks with a few extra little tidbits, one of them involving line of sight, which we'll talk about later. So, by the way, at the end of this video, you like the video, press like. If you're not subscribed and you're interested in Star Wars Legion, please subscribe. That really does help. So yeah, so I've got the headphones on, but I technically don't need them anymore. We are talking about the releases. So it's Padme, Cad Bane, the ARC Troopers, and the BX Battle Droids. Now, the Infernal Squad was sort of, and the Clan Men Troopers were sort of like tentatively confirmed. We didn't see anything of that. Just that Alex Davies, one of the designers, mentioned the Infernal Squad because we all pretty much know it's coming anyway. So we'll just go through it as quickly as we can, kind of thing. So keep in mind the quality of these images. What happened was that they leaked on the Asmodee website, and therefore we have some like fuzzy images of it. It's the best we've got right now. There will probably be an article, but it's not up as of right now, and obviously I just want to make the video, so here we go. Padme Confirmed, of course. She looks like she's 90 points, and she's an operative as we thought she was going to be. I'm not 100% sure what Authority says. I'm not going to dwell too much on all of the rules, because until we get an article, we'll probably see this in more detail and I'll just look like a fool. But yeah, we've got the card. For those of you who want to see it, you can check it out on the Discord. The sculpts are looking pretty fantastic. You can get them with different weapon poses and stuff like that. This is how you build them if you're interested in all that kind of stuff. This is one of her cards. So this is one of the new mechanics that they've introduced, which is called Divulge. Now, basically, it's sort of like Vader Operative in that you do it at the start of the game, except you can sort of choose not to do this one at the start of the game. So if you do it at the start of the game, you get you get Secret Mission for one, and then you can infiltrate at the start of the game. You have to play this card during the first turn and you get a dodge. Or, if you don't want to do that, you can just play it later on, and then you get Reliable One. Alright, fair enough. So it's like a little new mechanic called Divulge. It should be pretty interesting. Cad Bane, he was also confirmed, and his card is even more jumpy, but he looks like he's blurry, but he's, I said jumpy because he's got Jump 1. He's got Bounty, he's got Danger Sense 2, Sharpshooter 1, and Steady. And they were talking about how thematically, maybe Padme will play tricks or whatever, but Cad Bane's essentially just going to get all up in your grill and start smashing you with, say, the Electro Gauntlets. You can see that's 4 red dice. When you attack them, 1, they'll get a suppression, and 2, they'll become immobilized if you cause a wound. I just really like it. I'm not going to do my Cad Bane impersonation today. I'm in Control's interesting one because it synergizes well with Danger Sense. Basically, at the start of his activation, he can transfer any number of his suppression tokens to any number of troopers in range 1 to 2. So if you've accumulated loads of suppression tokens, you'll be able to just pop them out and give them to whoever's near, basically, and they won't be able to do anything about it. Really nice sculpt. His sculpt's going to be, you can take his hat off. Everybody is memeing saying anybody who does take his hat off will be shunned, and I almost agree because he looks weird without the hat and he looks so much better with the hat. So before we talk about the ARC Troopers and the BX Battle Droids, the other thing that they did mention was to do with line of sight. So they were talking about, I made a video talking about how they were thinking about changing strength of schedule. It was sort of tentatively confirmed. Well, basically Alex essentially said it, that they're going to go to a silhouette method, which essentially confirms that we're going to get rid of true line of sight. What it's going to be is that every model will have a defined silhouette, which will be sort of like a cylinder, presumably, and in that case, that cylinder will be what you use to see if you can identify them. Now, if it's the whole base, you could end up with weird situations where you can be seen without being seen. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm speculating here. That is very similar to Infinity, I believe. Not that I play Infinity, and I think maybe the Batman miniatures game uses something similar. So they said that would be in 3 to 4 weeks-ish, which would then mean we'll probably get a rules update across the board. And, we'll speculate on that another time. But for now, we'll carry on looking at the next set of droids. Before I do, I will refresh and see if I can see anything. I can't see anything, so don't blame me if it goes live after this video. So, by the way, I really like the look of these guys. Look at that. But let me see if I can find. We've had a leaked version of the card. Forgive me for the quality here, but we can see they've got red defense dice. We're not 100% sure of the points, but the Special Forces had they've got there's quite a few interesting things about them. They're talking about the design, how these guys will have a special weapon that They'll be able to be essentially a saboteur. They'll have the sniper, but the snipers are going to have a lethal one, which basically means you have to spend an aim token, and you don't get to reroll your dice, and then you get Pierce 1. Yeah, and they don't have, well, whichever the one that means you're high velocity, you can actually use dodges against them. And they also mentioned one thing I really liked about this unit and the ARC Troopers, that you will be able to build your standard 4-man unit and a 2-man unit detachment. So in the original special forces for the Rebels and the Imperials, for the snipers and the commandos and etc., you can't do that because of the leader. But in this, you're going to be able to do that officially, like with FFG's blessing, which I think you might want to do if they're good enough. These are guys, as you can see, they're coming with either the 2 upgrade options you can get for these are the shields. Now, I think you can model 4 shields they mentioned, or they have the sword, but we'll talk about the shield because the shield's on the screen. You get shielded too, so yeah, that works as Sabine and the droidicas and all that kind of stuff. They don't have they don't regenerate them automatically like the droidicas. You get recharge too, which basically means when you recover, then you get them back. So you have to recover to get them back for 18 points. And I think if you really want to go for a defending unit, you might want to take these. But other than that, I think I possibly like the super aggressive ones. Oh, there we go. I'm going to say I sort of spoiled what we're talking about. But yeah, these are the Vibro Swords. I like them partly because they're purple, but I also like them full stop. They've got a red and a white attack dice. Obviously, it's melee. But if you take this, you also gain charge for 6 points. If you're not taking the shields, you definitely take this just because it's 6 points. I mean, personally, I would. It just makes sense. Can we identify any of the points from this? No. I wonder if the sniper will be sort of similarly priced. Well, we can see the sniper there looks to be 38 points, 30 odd points. But you will have red defense dice, so and it already is baked in the 1 to 5. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not 100% sure, how that'll play out in the meta or anything like that. So I'm not going to speculate yet. And then we do move on to the ARC Troopers. There was some really cool stuff in that they mentioned for the ARC Troopers. Here we can see the very blurry version of the card, where it seems to be 21 points for the heavy weapon team and 31 for the sniper, which has lethal 1 and critical 1. Okay, nice. And yeah, we can see what they've got. They've got impervious, so you're immune to pierce, and scout 1, and sharpshooter 1, and tactical 1. So that moving thing for lethal going to be less of an issue, because when you move, you're going to get an aim, but you'll have to spend an aim to get pierce. So if you really want to you pump out your damage, you're going to want to aim and then shoot anyway. Or well, you can move and shoot. You want 2 aims, so you're going to have to get 2 aims somehow. Don't know how. There's plenty of ways these days, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure what. This is a new kind of grenade. I don't think we've seen this grenade, have we? The Ion 1 grenade. Have we seen this? Am I going crazy? Maybe. It's been a while. We're not 100% sure what these numbers mean. We're not too sure about that. But I would say we are going to get 5s and Echo. Was there another one that we're going to get? I can't remember off the top of my head. So you're going to get like the heavies. Now these are properly heavies. They're not personnel. But these heavies in the ARC Troopers are going to be allowed to be taken in Phase 1 Clone Troopers and Phase 2 Clone Troopers, which is interesting and cool. So it means you could essentially buy the ARC Troopers, run them as either a 4-man and a 2-man squad like on their own, or run them as a 4-man and then pump out your heavies into other units if you don't want to take your heavy. So also for these and the BX droids, there is a heavy in here which is generic. So the reason they've done that is because they mentioned in stuff like the Pathfinders, essentially when you ran like Poe and Bistan, you didn't have a reason to take a 3rd. So now you'll be able to take 3, and they would all be slightly different. They can, of course, you already do get, let me show you, you already do get, I was going to say you get jump 1, but for some reason you don't. But you get, you gain jump 2 with these. I was thinking about Bane, Cad Bane is getting jump 1. And while equipped to Clone Captain Rex, you reduce this card's points by 5 points. Cool. So you can either take them as a whole unit and gain jump 2, or you can, for 10 points, or you can take it with Captain Rex and you know, you get it for 5 points. Jump to jetpack sounds delicious, and I really like the face on this. I just think the quality on it, not that my screen's doing it justice there. Can we quickly see Padme? Can't really see Padme. She gains danger sense here, but that's all I can see. I can't really read authoritative, and I'm struggling. So we'll very quickly see and refresh. I'm not seeing any articles, so I will go ahead and call that a day. But yeah, some really interesting stuff. I really like the direction, what they're doing in terms of one, you can buy the unit and run it twice. I think that's good. Two, I like the idea of changing the cover to moving a little bit away from like a true line of sight. There's been a few games, one game when the game first came out, I lost because the end of my lightsaber was ever so slightly seen. Darth Vader's lightsaber, like the very tip of it was seen, and I got shot and died. And it was like, okay, that's weird. I'm not 100% sure this would rule it out. It depends how big the cylinder would be. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, being able to buy the unit and run it twice, being able to buy like the clone trooper, arc troopers, and then put them in phase 1, phase 2, whatever, that's also quite cool. Also confirms essentially we're going to get the Inferno squad and the Clan Ren squad, so Sabine Wren's cronies. Padme looks sort of like she's going to be a decent shot. You can maybe get up in the grill and start shooting with infiltrate, but she's also going to have, you know, tricks up her sleeve. And Cad Bane's cool. He's going to be like a melee bounty hunter. They mentioned, obviously, Padme can get that secret mission. Combine that with R2-D2, you've now got 2 possible scoring units with secret mission. The one that seems to be falling by the wayside then, obviously the Separatists will probably, well, they are getting bounty, and you know, they'll probably get more and more of that, would be the Rebels with just R2-D2, so perhaps we'll see something where the Rebels can get an extra secret mission in there to really start balancing things up. And yeah, I think that covers everything we've seen. Probably rules change in the next 3-4 weeks. Exciting. I'm really happy. Really good live stream. Really enjoyed it. It'll be on YouTube if you wanted to check it out. I've not seen the article yet, so that's that. Oh, my light is purple. And yeah, that's it. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.